2 back-to-back games at home for, right, 2 USC home games. This is the second one.
Yeah, they're looking to win this one tonight, similar to the way they won last week.
Yeah, and I think they will. And they packed the sidelines with top recruits. They got a bunch of commitments, including Kenny Pepe, Brett Colajay. They are loaded with top recruits, but that might not be the headliner this weekend. Steve, you got wind of some news just prior to kickoff. Tell us about it.
Well, Scott Schrader reported it. That's how I got wind. Posted a picture of Rider Lions on campus at USC this weekend. But I'm told by a source around the program, he's just there to see his brother Walker Lions. So I think right now USC's on the gas trying to change the narrative in the Peyton Houston recruitment. Up until this past week, I thought that they were the leader, but things have shifted. A lot of Oklahoma buzz, LSU still very much in the mix there. And then they'll be slow with any other 2027 quarterback targets. And that's where Rider Lions would fit in, because he is going to take a mission following his senior year and basically factors in to the 2027 class. So he's there at USC, and anytime he's somewhere on campus, obviously there's going to be a stir, but I don't think that unless my intel is wrong, I think he's just there to see his brother.
All right, we'll see what happens. I'm sure you're going to talk with him or talk to sources around him as the weekend ends, and we'll have more on the Wiltfong Whip Round this week on Rider Lions. But USC sitting with the number 1 class in America. They've been really, really good this offseason and heading into this season when it comes to the recruiting. What do you think is going on at USC to kind of decrease the volatility? I mean, they've always recruited well under Lincoln Riley, but it's always been such a huge swing of commits to decommits to more commits to more decommits. And this year just seems so much more consistent for the Trojans.
Well, I think that they got their infrastructure in order. I got a chance to visit USC in the offseason, and Lincoln Riley said that their commitment to NIL is only going to continue to get better too. And so that's exciting. But you're not in these conversations for Mark Bowman. You're not beating out Georgia and Texas. You're not beating out Miami and their offensive line pedigree for Kenny Pepe. Albert Hill picking USC over Oregon and Ohio State. Luke Wafel was a back and forth with Ohio State, and North Carolina threw a lot at Luke Wafel. Penn State made a last-second push at Luke Wafel. These are programs that have history of developing players, or if you're North Carolina and Luke Wafel, obviously you have Bill Belichick in his resume. You're not in these conversations if you're USC if you don't have some football acumen to flex on. And so these recruits, they believe in Lincoln Riley, who took Oklahoma to 3 college football playoffs. They believe in his assistant coaches. He brought in a terrific defensive staff last year. Now there's some continuity with this group. And the recruits, they have good relationships with USC. They believe in the direction of the program. They're building what they believe will be the best facilities in college football right now. So they're taking care of these student athletes. And then infrastructure, modern recruiting, whatever you want to call it, USC is making the most of it. And these recruits are bought in from that regard as well. And so do I think if it wasn't for modern recruiting, would some of these guys be elsewhere? Absolutely. But USC wouldn't even be in the mix with these guys if they didn't believe in the fact that USC can win big and turn them into first rounders or NFL players.
All right, Steve, 2027 recruiting, is it going well for USC? Just hit on that real quick and we'll get out of here.
Yeah, I think they're still kind of deciding who they want to be on the gas for. Duve Williams was on campus last week, predicted him. Adam Gorney and I predicted the prized in-state corner to the Trojans. This week, Quentin Hale, he's the number 58 prospect overall, number 11 receiver. He's visiting. USC's one of his early favorites. And so they're just getting these in-state guys from 2027. It's also a very special year in 2026. Lincoln Riley talked about how much more talented it was in-state in 2026 compared to previous years he's already been at USC. So they're certainly also benefiting from home cooking towards their number 1 class. But they're starting to recruit these guys in 2027 and getting them in for early games, and vibes are good, the way they're playing right now, and expectations and new facilities and all that.